Hey everyone, I'm On. I'm an ethnic Korean guy living in a small border town right next to North Korea, deep in China's Rust Belt. My cousin bought a ride on toy car online and asked me if I could pick it up for her. It's not really a stroller, but one of those food-powered cars where toddlers steer themselves around. The seller lives over in the new district, pretty much the wealthy area of our town. Honestly, I've never actually been over there before. So today, come along and let's check out what a rich neighborhood looks like in a small border town like ours. Because the local economy isn't doing great, a lot of young people have left, so you rarely see young faces on the street. Whenever I go out for a walk, it's mostly older people. This is actually one of the oldest and least populated areas in China. If you are over 65, taking the bus is completely free, which is one of the few benefits from the local government. So no matter when you take the bus here, almost all the passengers are seniors. Most buses in China don't accept credit cards, but you can always pay with a QR code on your phone. A single bus ride here costs only about 15 cents because the government rents the buses and pay for most of the cost. It's way cheaper than in Japan. One of my favorite things to do is just ride the bus and watch the view outside, simply because it's so cheap. It's so cheap that even someone as broke as me can go anywhere in the city without worrying about the travel expenses. I'm already 40. I'm probably still the youngest person on this bus. In China, shops aren't strictly divided between residential and commercial areas. For example, right downstairs from my apartment, there's a whole row of convenience stores, restaurants, and clothing shops, which makes life super convenient. But even in Japan, another East Asia country, residential and commercial areas are strictly separated. In Japanese residential neighborhoods, you mostly see just houses with no shops around. When it comes to convenience, I think China is definitely way better than Japan. Of course, the downside is that all these storefronts can make the streets look a bit messy and less neat. Unlike in developed countries, the most common way for ordinary people in China to get around is on a two-wheeled electric scooter. Food delivery drivers ride two-wheeled electric scooters, while mail delivery workers ride three-wheeled ones. You could say that electric scooters are a super important way to travel for people in China. However, stealing electric scooters is a real common problem in China. So I still don't dare to buy one even now, just because I'm so scared it will get stolen. The yellow old building across the street was cleared out years ago, and nobody lives there anymore. The developer originally planned to knock it down and build a new high-rise apartment building. Unluckily for the developer, right as they were about to tear it down, China's real estate bubble burst. Now it's just an abandoned project because the developer was afraid the new flats wouldn't sell, so they ran away. It's just terrible for the relocated residents. They can't move back and they'll never get the new homes they were promised. I just got off the bus and now I'm standing outside the gate of this residential compound. Security here is extremely strict. In a high-end gated community like this, outsiders can never get in without a resident's approval. Luckily, I've already contacted the person I'm meeting, who is a resident here. He called security in advance, so the guard just let me right in. I have to say, even in a small Manchurian border town like ours, there's a huge gap between the rich and the poor, and their living environments are completely different. The greenery in this neighborhood is amazing. It definitely feels like a place where rich people live. The neighborhood I live in has almost no greenery at all. Because my low-income neighborhood has no property management, there are no nice gardens or green spaces inside. I think this is the main difference between a wealthy neighborhood and a poor one. I gotta say, the greenery here is beautiful, with all kinds of plants everywhere. This blue box is for old clothes. If you have clothes you don't wear, you can drop them in, and someone comes to pick them up regularly. Okay, officially, these old clothes are sent to poor areas in China and given to people in need for free. But the rumor has it that in reality, these used clothes are actually sold to Africa. Because these boxes are put all over the city by different companies. There's an old Chinese saying, nobody gets up earlier without a profit. I really don't believe any Chinese company would do business purely for charity. Of course, to enjoy a view like this, every resident has to pay a pretty high property fee every month. I'm really grateful to my cousin. If she hadn't asked me to come pick up the ride-on car, I probably would have never set foot in this place. And I definitely wouldn't have seen such a beautiful view, especially for free. Seriously, I have to say, this is the neighborhood with the best view I've ever seen in our city. Even the outside of the buildings looks great. Even though our city is a small although industrial town with a weak economy, high unemployment, and heavy population loss. But looking at it now, it seems like none of that real affects the lives of the rich. Seeing some people living such a good life here, while countless others like me are struggling with debt and unemployment, it suddenly makes me feel pretty hopeless and sad. Why is there such a huge gap between people? Alright, there's a set of stairs here hiding up to a higher spot. So, I'm going to go up and take a look. Whoa, this is gorgeous. After walking up the stairs, it feels like I would discover a sky garden. A cool architectural design like this must be real expensive to build. Whoa! Not only are there pretty gardens here, but there are also all kinds of convenience shops. Living here must be super convenient. It's almost like a country within a country. You can get everything you need for daily life here, and never even have to leave the complex. The rich life really must be nice. Wow, these four seniors are playing mahjong outside. It looks so chill and relaxing. This is a self-service parcel pickup station with delivery lockers inside. Let me head in and take a look. Parcels are scattered all over the floor, looking a bit messy. Since online shopping in China is usually about 10% cheaper than in physical stores, people buy almost all their daily necessities online to save money. Even for something like a single bottle of soy sauce, people still order it online because shipping is completely free. This community is so clean, all thanks to these cleaners. It's been so hard in Manchuria recently, and sweeping outside during the day is scorching heat. Unlike in the West, where couriers deliver packages by car, couriers in China ride electric trikes. It's freezing in winter and scorching in summer. Extremely hard work. Honestly, without their hard work, China wouldn't have such insanely cheap online shopping prices today. This is a parcel locker. Whenever a package arrives, it automatically sends a 6-digit pickup code to your phone. People can just enter the pickup code to get their packages. Alright, I've just stepped out of the community. Whoa, look over there. A melon farmer is selling homegrown watermelons straight out of his truck. They are usually about half the price of what you'd pay at the market. So I definitely have to grab one. On a scorching hot day like this, going home to eat some watermelon is honestly pure bliss to me. At 10 cents a pound, it really is half the market price. So I decided to get a big one. But his watermelons are all way too big, so I finally decided to just get half of one instead. The half he's bagging up right now is mine. Alright, I'm heading home on the bus now. to get stuck into this watermelon. It's so hard lately, so take good care of your service. Stay hydrated and stay cool. Catch you in the next video.